Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, original, chapter number 4, text number 6. Jnana Yoga, the knowledge beyond our mind, intellect, and senses. Krishna says here, Aja means unborn. Ja means born. We are also unborn, but we have selected this material world, which is a different world from our original world. Therefore, we have to take a temporary body. The real meaning of death and birth indicates that we are not belong to this material world. Just like when you move to a foreign country, there can be many inconveniences. That inconveniences shows you that you are not belong to that place. If we are sharp in our intelligence, we may be able to trace the history of all living entities. Therefore, when we realize why we are dying and taking birth in this world, then the answer will be very explicit that we are not belong to this material world at all. So Aja means we are also unborn, but we are embodied at present. But Krishna is also Aja, unborn, but he never changes his body. There was no variety that can please the Supreme Lord in the material world. Thus, we can understand he is not forced to come to this material world or willingly come to this material world to enjoy something. If he ever came to this material world only to reclaim all living entities to go back to the spiritual world, that was the purpose of his descent. Descent means from top of the planet, which is called the home of God, the kingdom of God. From there, he descends. Just like when you fly in the airplane, the pilot speaks out sometimes. We are now 30,000, 35,000 feet above the surface of the earth. Now we are planning to descend. So, you all fasten your seat belts. So, descending means the Lord actually comes down from the spiritual world. But he is not forced to take birth or change his body ever. Therefore, here specifically he said Aja, unlike the living entities. Ajo Abhishan Avyatma, Bhudanam Ishvaro Abhishan. You can also say that I am also Ishvara. But you can be Ishvara for yourself or for few people. But Krishna says, Buddha means singular, Bhudanam means plural. I am the Lord of all living entities. He is cutting down all of your speculative, concocted imaginations and proving that he is unlike you. Though you are eternal, you are also unborn, but here is the difference. You are the master of your family members or some pet dogs and cats. But you are not Bhudanam Ishvaro Abhishan. I am the master of all living entities. No, that is Krishna. Krishna is saying this. Pragritim Swam Adhishtaya. Adhishtaya means being situated on my own Swabhava, Prakriti. We are dependent on the resources provided through the material nature. If you do not have a bottle of water or food for eating one time, we suffer. Why we are taking our briefcase and your backpack and going to the office by riding your bike and scooters? And why you are doing that? You need 3 times food. So we have to eat. So we are dependent. We haven't come here on our own nature, Subhava, Prakriti. But we are living on others' expenses, which is God's expenses. But Krishna, Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya, Sambhavami Atmamayaya. I come in this world, Atmamayaya, my Maya, my internal potency, not Mahamaya, my Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya means she always makes me forget that I am God. It's not because she is more powerful than me, but I have made her to do that so that my relationship with all jivas will be exactly like a parent, exactly like a lover, exactly like a master, exactly like a sakha. Such relationships will not have any hindrance. Therefore, I keep my yoga maya so that you make me forget that I am God by my own energy. Even then, the Supreme Lord is completely independent to control his own yoga maya also. Sometimes the president of the nation or prime minister of the nation, when he travels to different countries, he tells his servant, 7 o'clock you wake me up. Does it mean he does not have any facilities like alarm clock or any other arrangements? No, it is just an affection. Whoever he likes, he tells them, please wake me up at this time. So, Krishna has this affection for all his children. Therefore, he wanted to forget many different things so that his relationship, his love, his affection will not hinder. But if he thinks that he is only God, then that expression of love will not flow. In Goloka Vrindavan, no one knows Krishna is God. Nor Krishna is worried that he is God there. He just wants to increase the loving affairs with all his family members and friends and relatives and girlfriends and boyfriends, so that he can decently channelize that particular love for that particular member who deserve that. In Brahma Samhita there is a verse, Goloka namni nijadamni tale chatasya Devi Mahesha Hari Dameshu Teshu Teshu Tete Prabha Nijaya Vihidaschayena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. On top of all creation is the planet called Goloka Vrindavan. Then Devi Dham, Mahesh Dham and Hari Dham. Between these dhams and Goloka there is a river called Virja. Viraja means without passion. That is made of pure Sattva. It's called Vishuddha Sattva. All the living entities who wants to enjoy the material variegatedness, they are placed in the Devi Dham. Some living entities who has no idea about Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka Vrindavan, but they still wanted to be free from the Devi Dham, which is the place of conditioned souls, or it is called correctional center. But some or other, they want to get out of that and they perform certain activities, which is religious rituals and various other worships. So they are placed in Mahesh Loka. So in the Mahesh Loka, they stay there for a long number of years. Again, they come down to this earth planet, to Devi Dham. So now here you can see that this is the Goloka Vrindavan. And Lord actually descends from there to reclaim the living entities. Only once in the day of Lord Brahma, that is 864 crores of years, the Lord actually descends here to this world to reclaim all living entities. Fortunately, that happened 5,000 years ago. So Aja means it is the appearance. It is not taking birth like us. We have taken birth from all these four sources, as I said. And as soon as we take birth, we forget our past. But when Krishna descends, he doesn't forget any of his activities in Vaikuntha planets. And the material world are unlimited in number, which is the Ekapada Vibhuti. Vibhuti means the Aishwarya of the Lord. Only one portion of it. 3/4 is the spiritual sky, the spiritual universes. So, the living entities who trapped in this material creation can be redeemed or reinstated to the spiritual nature by following the proper method. So these material worlds is not that you and me are only conditioned souls. There are millions and billions and trillions and zillions of living entities within this Ekapada Vibhuti. Our universe is smallest universe, where Lord Brahma, the secondary creator, has only 4 heads. There are Brahmas and Shivas having millions and millions of heads. Can you imagine the dimension of those universes? Very big. This is just like a bubble. When you see bubbles, there are small bubble, biggest bubble, like that. The form that you create, whether in your washing machine or in a bucket, all bubbles are different in size. So the universes are like bubbles in the ocean, but they are all in different sizes. Because they are bigger and bigger and bigger, the head of the Brahma and Shiva is also different in numbers. So this is the creation of the Lord. Yesaiga nishashita kalam adhavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagad andanada Vishnur mahansa ihayasya kala vishesho Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. It is said, Yesaiga Nishashidam, by simply one breathing of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Yesaiga Nishashidam, Nishashida means breathing. He brings forth through his bodily hair poles universes. Jivanti Loma Vilaja. Jagadandanada, many Brahmas are actually being created. Jagadandanada is here, Brahma. Vishnur Mahansa Ihayasya, that Mahavishnu, most of the time we say Mahavishnu is great. Yes, he is the great. Vishnur Mahansa Ihayasya Kala Vishesho, that Mahavishnu is the Kala Vishesha. Vishesha means a particular or a special personality. Is that Vishnu? And whose part is that particular or special personality, Lord Vishnu, who is Mahavishnu? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Lord Govinda expands into Lord Vishnu for material creation, to create all these universes and fill up all these jivas who want to enjoy independent of God. What is the enjoyment here in this world? Eating and sleeping? You know better. So for that purpose, we have given up our original home and descended to this material world by our own material desires. That is Krishna. When Krishna was performing his pastimes in Dwarka 5,000 years ago, because it was Dwapara Yuga, all the interplanetary system was allowed. The Devi, Devatas all come down to the earth planet, and from earth planet also few members could go travel in the space and visit heavenly planets. That was the time. Now Kali Yuga started. So no interplanetary system allowed. Sometimes government actually makes some restrictions. Here is the tunnel. You cannot use it from this time to this time because it is winter and it is dangerous. You are not allowed to travel through this way. Because of the seasonal changes, you are not allowed to travel through that direction. Similarly, the four seasons are Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. So, in Dwapara Yuga, the interplanetary system was allowed by the Supreme Lord. In Kali Yuga, interplanetary system is stopped. So, in Dwapara Yuga, one day, Lord was sitting on his beautiful throne. A four-headed Brahma, our Brahma, arrived and wanted to see Lord Sri Krishna. He was at the door. The doorkeeper went inside and told the Lord that Lord Brahma has come to see you. Lord Krishna said, "Which Brahma?" The doorkeeper went back and asked Lord Brahma. Lord Krishna is asking, "Which Brahma are you?" Brahma also got surprised. Which Brahma? What does it mean? I am only the Brahma. I don't know about that, the doorkeeper said. Lord asked me, I'm just communicating with you. Which Brahma are you, sir? Lord Brahma said, I am four-headed Brahma, the father of four Kumaras. Please go and tell the Lord. So the doorkeeper again went inside and told the Lord, he is Chadurmukha Brahma, four-headed Brahma. The Lord replied, let him come in. As soon as Lord Brahma came inside, he paid complete obeisances to the Lord. And the Lord asked him, how are you doing? Lord Brahma said, I will tell you that later. You please tell me the reason that you asked, which Brahma am I? Is there any other Brahmas? Lord Krishna said, yes. The Lord meditated for 1 second. many millions and millions of Brahmas appeared. Somebody had 10 heads, somebody had 1,000 heads, 10,000 heads, 100,000 heads, 1 million heads, 10 million heads, and many more millions of headed Brahmas arrived. And not only that, Lord Shiva began to come with his trident, with many heads, similar to Lord Brahma's. 1,000 heads, million-headed Lord Shankara, Shiva, they began to arrive. Then Lord Indra, with thousands of eyes in his body, also began to arrive. All these Indras, Shiva and Brahmas were the Rajyapalakas of different universes. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains, one head of Lord Brahma managed 1 billion diameter of the universe. And there are billions and trillions of universes having different space and time. And as all these Brahmas and Shivas and Indras were coming, Lord Krishna was asking them, how are they all doing? And the most astonishing thing is, they were thinking Lord Krishna is in their earth planet. And they told him, by your mercy, we are very comfortable, no disturbance from any demons whatsoever. It's all your kindness, O Lord. And no Brahmas were seeing another Brahma. No Shiva was seeing another Shiva. No Indra was seeing another Indra. Nor they were all seeing Brahma, Shiva, Indra like that. They were all thinking, me and Krishna only there. Except this four-headed Brahma, who was like a squirrel in front of all these Brahmas and Shivas and Indras. And one more thing has to be noticed here. The Lord was actually sitting on his throne. When 10-headed Brahma came, that Brahma was huge. Then can you imagine 1,000-headed Brahma, how big he would be? Then how would be the 10 million-headed Brahma? Similarly, Lord Shiva. Now here I am talking about their size. To hold one head, our size is 5 feet, 6 feet. If we have some million-headed, how much big your body would be. And if Krishna stays there on his throne as a human being, as I mentioned yesterday's lecture, then Krishna will be like a squirrel in front of these Brahmas, just like this Brahma was seeing all these huge Brahmas and Shivas, and Krishna will be also looking at the space to see their face. No. This actually shows the Supreme Lord is beyond time and space. As the Brahmas and Shivas were appearing there, the palace ceiling were increasing according to the size of the Brahma and Shiva. And similarly, Lord Krishna's size also was increasing. Make it suitable to these thousands and 10,000s and 100,000s and millions of headed Brahma. His size also was increasing, and his throne was increasing in its size. And the Lord was so big in front of these guys too. Unlike Lord Krishna's color, blackish hue, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had the color of a molten gold. But he is in Krishna Varna. So that same Krishna in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining these things to his dear devotee Sanatana Goswami. How I create this universe. Now you know the creation. So in the end, Lord Brahma was very perplexed, confused. Then Lord Brahma actually said, whatever I formerly decided about my knowledge, today I really verified. Jananta eva janandu kim bohuktya name prabhu manaso vabuso vajo vaibhavam tava gochara. That means there are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think in that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak anything about you now onwards, especially about this matter that I know Krishna. Oh my Lord. But let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, intelligence, and senses. Therefore, I have no comments because I cannot conceive your potencies. In this way, Lord Brahma offered a final obeisances and departed as like a small mouse. He thought he is the secondary creator and he is very important in the creation. Like we all think that we are very important in this creation. And somewhere in the vast universe, unlimited number of planets, one planet which is the smallest of all planets, and in that planet there are continents, and each continent has so many countries, and each country has so many states, and each state has so many districts, and so many districts have so many towns and villages. In one small village or town, we sit and think, I am everything. I am the controller of the finance. I am the controller of the power. I am the controller of everything that I survey. Don't you think this is foolishness? Bhudanam Ishvaro Abhishan. I am the Ishvara, not Isha. Ishvara means controller of everyone's karma. And he is the person to reward everyone and punish everyone. And he has that controlling power. Therefore he is called Ishvara. So this pastime explains that Krishna is Bhudanam Ishvaro Abhishan. I am the controller of all living entities, including Lord Brahma and Shiva and Indra. And this particular pastime demonstrated that. And we will explain the goal of the Supreme Lord's advent or descent in this world in next 2 verses. Why he has come here, what made him to come to this world. And thank you very much. Hare Krishna.